Shortly before 10 in the morning, the Minister for Karamoja Mary Goretti Kitutu, Senior Principal Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister Joshua Abaho, and Kitutu's relative, Michael Naboya Kitutu, appeared in the dock at the Anti-Corruption Court. They are accused of theft of iron sheets meant for the empowerment program in Karamoja sub-region. In 2021, a budget of 39.9 billion shillings was approved to cater for the empowerment of former cattle rustlers in Karamoja. Some of the money was allocated for the purchase of iron sheets under the same program. According to evidence adduced by the DPP, in June 2022, on the request of Minister Kitutu, Senior Principal Secretary Joshua Abaho wrote a memo to the Under-Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, who released 10,000 iron sheets meant for the official launch of the peace-building program in Moroto. However, only 1,000 iron sheets were released for the launch. The Chief Magistrate Joan Achiro read out the evidence that prosecution had tabled against the accused.
That investigations confirmed that on 17th June 2023, A1 directed her personal assistant, A2 Abaho Joshua, to pick 3,000 pieces of iron sheets from the OPM stores and deliver to her home in Nsova Chevando. The same were received by her daughter-in-law, Ndagire Winfred.
In February 2022, police received intelligence information that people were selling OPM-marked iron sheets in an open market in Namisindwa district in eastern Uganda.
A total of 390 pre-painted iron sheets were recovered from the homes of A1's mother, 89 iron sheets, her brother A3 Naboya Kitutu Michael, 31 iron sheets, her nephew Wabwire Julius, 230 iron sheets.
The evidence adduced shows that the people who received the iron sheets were not the intended beneficiaries. Thus, Chief Magistrate Joan Achiro committed the three to the High Court for trial.
He's not used to this environment. Counsel, please guide your client.
In the afternoon, the State Minister for Finance and Planning, Amos Lugoloobi, appeared before Senior Principal Grade 1 Magistrate, Albert Asimwe. Lugoloobi allegedly gave some to a privately owned school and used the rest to roof a goat shed.
During investigations, police visited New Hope Primary School, where they established that the iron sheets labeled Office of the Prime Minister had been used to roof one of the classrooms. That Mainja Fred is not one of the targeted beneficiaries for the iron sheets, and the iron sheets were irregularly donated to him by the accused person. That the balance of 316 iron sheets was driven to the accused person's farm at Misanga village, Bare parish, Bare sub-county in Kayunga district, where he used them to roof his own goat shed.
Detectives further found out that he later attempted to remove the Karamoja iron sheets and replace them with new ones.
That when police visited the accused person's farm on 28th February 2023, they found his workers replacing the roof of the goat shed with the new iron sheets. At that time, only part of the shed had been roofed with new iron sheets, but the work were still ongoing. That at the time police arrived at the accused person's farm, the pre-painted iron sheets branded Office of the Prime Minister had already been loaded onto his motor vehicle registration number UBG 430S Isuzu Canter, which was still at the farm. That a search was immediately conducted by police in presence of the accused person's workers, during which a total of 108 used pieces of gauge 28 iron sheets with nail holes labeled Office of the Prime Minister, Uganda Chiboko pre-coated sheet, PPGI gauge 28 of 0.32 millimeters were removed.
So far, 3 ministers have been committed to the High Court for trial. The first to be committed was State Minister for Karamoja, Agnes Nandutu.
The kind of evidence that is going to be adduced against the suspects when it comes to the hearing of this matter before the High Court Division of the Anti-Corruption Court will include pictorial evidence, affidavits from the detectives who investigated the matter, different reports, vouchers, and also memos that were signed within the office of the Prime Minister before the iron sheets were given out. And what remains now is the kind of evidence that the suspects are going to be also adducing before the very court, though it's not clear when this court is going to start the hearing of this matter. Sudhir Byaruhanga, NTV, Kololo.